Hi, this is Johnny with Johnny's Auto Repairs. Today we're back on the 2005 Kia Optima, and the problem I'm having is the power window. It goes down, but when it goes up, sometimes it sticks. And kind of show you, it looks like it's almost on an angle sometimes. So in general, with the power windows I've worked on, if you press the switch and nothing happens, it's usually either the switch or the motor, and if you try to activate it and it catches or it grinds or it gets stuck somewhere, it's probably the regulator. So the only way to know for sure is you gotta take this panel off, and there's a I didn't see any YouTube videos on this, and the service information doesn't have a specific procedure, but it has some diagrams. So we'll kind of go over those, and if you're doing this job, hopefully this will help out a little bit. Okay, before I look at the service information and diagram, I'll show you kind of what happens when I try to put the window up and down. It goes down pretty well, but it sometimes gets stuck going up. Yeah, it's stuck there. Yeah, sometimes it completely stops and won't move. So we're gonna hopefully get this fixed. It could be no parts required. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'd rather not spend the money, because I'm kind of cheap. All right, there's no specific procedure in ALLDATA for the replacement of the window, motor, and regulator, but they do have some diagrams. And in this diagram, hopefully you can see the mouse here. At the door panel, there's going to be a screw here, here, and here, and then there's one on the window switch assembly, and there's a couple other ones that you can kind of see. And then here's the regulator. Here we got, the bolts you have to take out if you have to replace that. So and the speakers down here too. So we're just gonna have to start peeling back the onion, and I'm sure there's going to be clips around the edge too. We have to pull on those to get that out. Hopefully we don't have to remove the window. So we'll start working on it and see what happens. Okay, first thing you have to do is get this door panel off. There's several Phillips head screws you got to take off. One's over here. One's in the armrest hole there. That one's going to be pretty crusty. So. And then on the sides, there's one over here, and then there's two. Okay, then there's two down here, one there, and then that one there. And this one over here, I don't think this one has to come out. Okay, once you get the one in here out, you can kind of pop this up. So let me get those out, and then we'll come back. Okay, once you get the screw out here, this should come off pretty easily, hopefully. Okay, once you get this off, this one has a plug. You press this in, you can pop it out. This one here has one that you press this in, you pop it out. They've been in there for 18 years, so it's kind of difficult to get out. Once you get that done, I think there's a whole bunch of clips around the outside, so you have to kind of start at one side and work your way down. And I'll get started on that. Okay, this wasn't coming out, and I found out that there's a second screw up here. So there's one down here, one down there, and you got to get both of them, or you'll be like me and wondering what you did wrong. So I'll get that out next. Okay, hopefully you got a better view there. I think everything's off, all the screws, and I think all you have to do is tilt it up and take it off, maybe. Alright, I've checked all these bolts. Nothing seems to be loose, and kind of watching the regulator go up and down, and I really don't see anything obvious. So to kind of figure it out, I have to take it all the way out, and if I do that, I might as well replace it. So I'm going to ahead and get a new unit online, and I usually go 1A Auto is probably what I'm going to go with. There's one for $65. That includes shipping. O'Reilly is like 120, I think. Okay, I looked up the service information. It looks like the window regulator, 2 bolts here and 2 bolts down here, and then there's 3 holding the motor on right here, and the regulator's held onto the glass by these 2 over here. So my plan is to take these 2 out, push the glass up, and like put a tape or something over here and hold that up, and then unbolt the regulator and bring it out through here. So I'll set you up on a camera and the tripod, and maybe go fast forward and get started on it. Okay, now they got all the bolts. What I have to do is push it in and bring it out through here, so that might take a little bit of doing, so bear with me here. Okay, the new unit looks pretty much identical to the old one, so I'll have to fish it up in there and get it bolted in. Got 2 up here, 2 up there, and 3 over here, and they're like kind of bolts that push through, so it could be a little tricky, but eventually I think I can get it. Okay, progress update. I got this regulator in there. It helps to have the window all the way up, and you have to push the window back, get this part up in there. And then you got 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and then the motor's pretty easy to get in. So I'll get those bolts on next. Okay, now the tricky part, letting the window down and getting them in here and running the bolts in. So I'll get back with you in a second. Alright, once you get the glass moved down, there's these two places where the bolts go in, and on top of that there's like a little tab that clicks into this white part. So once you get that in, you're just going to run the bolts down and then put everything back together. And then last thing, you got to not forget to plug the motor back in. Okay, we'll do a test here, see if everything works before we put everything back together. Try to do this one-handed. Yeah, everything seemed to be working okay. So I'll put it back together and we'll make sure everything else works on the power mirrors, and I didn't mess anything up, which is always a possibility. Okay, we just about got everything back together with this window controller. There's 2 plugs on the side here. Okay, I've got everything back together, and we'll see if everything actually works any better. So, try the window first here. It definitely goes down faster than it did. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. So, what I'm thinking is maybe I had a weak motor, or there's some gear slipping on maybe the regulator. I don't know, but at least that works, and door lock's okay. Other windows, they seem to be okay. So I didn't screw anything up too bad. Trunk open. Gas cap. Yeah, everything seemed to work. So this was a video for anyone who has a Kia Optima 2005 era. I didn't see one video on YouTube about it, on how to do the motor and regulator, but a lot of this applies to any car. I'm used to working on the gear type, but these are with the cables aren't too bad either. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.